So then at this point you get admitted, you are brought to a room upstairs and a child abuse
Mhm.
pediatrician approaches you, right?
Before that, and I hate to use this verbiage, but they tricked us into getting my son down there, saying that I'm a breastfeeding mom, that my babies are twins, you should never separate twins. And I'm like, okay, well, my husband will then run home because we're obviously going to be here overnight. He's going to get us an overnight bag, some toothbrushes. He'll grab my son. And they were like, the nurses were just so pleasant and sweet. And they brought in a pack and play, like a little mamaroo swing all into the room. And they're like, oh, yeah, the babies need to be together. We'll bring everything in. They had everything set up. And then as soon as my husband pulled in the parking deck, CPS, she pops her head in and says, when your son gets here, we're taking him downstairs for a full workup of non-accidental trauma. And that's when everything clicked with me. Holy crap. They are not trying to find out what's wrong with my baby. They are trying to figure out what we did to our baby, which was nothing. And now they're taking my son. My son gets there. He's down in the ER. They run all the same tests on him and he's fine. There's nothing wrong with him. And we're done with everything about 10:30 p.m. that night. That's when the CPS worker came in and started questioning me about the events, what happened, and same thing, same chain of events. Well, we were out all day yesterday, Dave and Buster's. My husband said she was strapped in improperly in the car seat. Um, and that was pretty much it. We woke up at 3 to 4 a.m., brought her to the emergency room, swollen thigh. I kept asking the nurse, hey, can I go ahead and head upstairs? Oh, no, not yet, not yet. So it was 12:30 at that point. And finally I said, what's the holdup? What I'm gonna go upstairs to my husband and my daughter. And oh well, just give us a few more minutes. They're getting everything ready. And I'm like, okay. I call at 2 a.m. to the floor that my daughter's on and say, why are they keeping me down here? My son is exhausted. I need to go up. I'm coming upstairs. Well, we don't have a room ready yet. We're going into my daughter's room. What are you talking about? Well, hold on. We're just trying to get things coordinated. 3 o'clock comes around. I call my husband's cell phone. He's asleep in my daughter's room. I am hysterical again, saying, I don't know what's happening. I feel like I'm being held hostage in this room. Christian's exhausted. I'm coming upstairs. So, and he's like, all right, I'm going to the nurse's station. I'll figure this out. Within 20 minutes or so, I get a call. Okay, come upstairs. So a nurse escorts me upstairs and they escort me to a different room. And I say, wait a minute, why are you putting me in a different room? You said that twins should never be separated. You brought a pack and play. I'm going in there with my daughter. No, no, we can't allow that. The kids have to be separate, but they would not allow the twins in the same room. Therefore, the parents had to be separated as well. I was too exhausted to argue with them at that point. At that point, had been up for 24 hours and finally got my son settled. It was 3:30, almost 4 in the morning. I lay there on the couch, and by 6 a.m., the nurses start coming in. I go check on Amelia, and then the questioning starts happening all over again. They take my husband out for questioning. That's when I'm introduced to the child protective team. It's when a group of doctors walked into the room, but the only one that spoke to me and introduced herself was Dr. Barbara Knox. And she introduced herself as the head of the child protective team.